Okay, so I've decided to do a One Piece arc ranking series, and I have a few notes for you guys before I begin. One, I'm doing this from an anime only perspective because I have not been able to get into the manga all that much yet. I plan to in the future, just once I have some money. Number two, I am not doing Whole Cake Island because it's not done yet in the anime, so I'm not really sure what all happens yet and what's going to affect my judgment on the arc. And number three is I am including filler arcs in on this, but they're not going to be that prevalent. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I feel need to be talked about. And so, starting off I'm just gonna say this one's dead last, you'll see why in a minute. I have the Rainbow Mist arc, and if you've seen my other videos, then you know I hate that arc with a passion because of the one big moment where the bad guy is holding a kid hostage and Nami is right there, she can save him, but instead she says let him die because she doesn't know him, and it just completely goes against her character. I hate that moment. I hate that episode. It makes me hate that arc, and I thought the arc was pretty decent up until then too. Anyway, moving on from that. Next, I have all the useless filler arcs. I like most of them. They're entertaining, especially if you were like me and you didn't realize the majority of them were filler the first time around. The problem is that they're filler, they're not important, and there's just no reason in ranking them any higher than any of the canon arcs when there's no point to it. So I will move on to number 30 now, and number 30 is the Laboon arc. And I like Laboon. I think he's a fun character. His story is interesting. Uh, the problem is his arc is short. It's only 2 episodes long, and for what we got from those 2 episodes was pretty decent. But imagine what we could have gotten in its place. Like, we could have gotten like a whole Pinocchio type of storyline where the crew gets eaten by the well and they have to figure their way out. And you could still have Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine be the antagonists, just maybe make them a little tougher and like still have them be saved by the crew in the end and go off to Whiskey Peak. Uh, it just that it's too short of an arc. It was funny at times, especially Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine. Like, even my friend, when we watched it together, he had the same thought that I did during the first run through of One Piece, was that Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine are the One Piece equivalent of Team Rocket. Uh, that we meet Crocus. Crocus is an interesting character, especially when we find out who he really is. Uh, I like that he stayed with the Boon, but other than that, we just didn't really get much from the arc, and that one little thing is what causes it to not be able to stand up to the rest of the arcs in One Piece that are massive in comparison. Oh, like, compare the Boon's 2 episode arc to Dressrosa of all things. It just does not hold up. So that is dead last to number 30 on my list.